The amount of power that Grok AI gives you in coding is just unbelievable. I'm not a programmer by trade. I dabble a little bit, but I would certainly say that I am a novice at programming. I've been building out a database to better manage my company and to replace a paid subscription model that I have had. And the experience that I've had with Grok AI in building out the code is unbelievable. The amount of things I've been able to do, I would have had to have paid thousands of dollars to get it done. So I'm just going to show you a quick example of something that I'm working on right now, and hopefully I fix it in this video very easily to demonstrate what can be done with Grok AI. So on their devices, when they go to the timesheet, they try to click on this time entry. It's supposed to pop out a little clock, and it doesn't do that. All right, so Grok has already found the problem. It looks like the time picker modal that I'm using is marked for desktop only. Don't know why that was built by default, but again, Grok helped me build it on the front end, and everything I was doing on the front end was desktop. So what Grok does is it analyzes your code, and let's read through this. What you're looking for is the solution. You want to read through this to make sure that what it's proposing and what it's analyzing is correct. Sometimes the AI will not interpret what you want, or it will find areas that you're not wanting to change. So it gives a step-by-step fix. Fix JavaScript. Then it gives step 2, updating PHP. Step 3, browser compatibility check. And then, of course, testing. So let's go through this, and I'm going to make these changes, and we'll see if it fixes the time clock. One thing I've noticed when you are working with code is you want to make sure and read these green sections, which are the non-code sections. They're explainers or place markers, things like that. You want to make sure if it is giving you a stretch of code that you're not replacing something where it might say your existing code is unchanged, because it's basically giving you portions of the code but not the whole section. And so if you just copy and paste this over, then you're going to have a page that doesn't fully work because you've basically eliminated portions of it. Right here, that's exactly what I was talking about. Rest of your existing JavaScript. So if I was to just copy and paste this over my previous script section, then it would not work because I would be missing certain pieces of it. So what I want to do, and this is what I've found to do, is I just go in and I ask Grok, give me the full working code sections with fixes. That way it will give me the whole script section that I can just copy and paste over. Once I tell it to give me the full code section this time, then all the other responses generally will be full code sections. And I don't want to do the whole page of code, because sometimes the AI will make a weird change that you don't expect, that's unintentional, or the page has so many lines of code that it takes forever to generate and slows you down. But in addition, sometimes it will time out and it just won't finish. So if you can distinguish where these pieces of code go and at least do it in sections, it's a lot easier to spot in your existing code. So I'm going to tell it, okay, give me the full code sections. Give it time to generate. Now while it's generating, I'm going to go over to my actual code, and I'm going to find this section of the code. So what I do generally, the names are usually already established because he's generally copied from what we've created in tandem. I'm going to find that section. So I do have a section that starts with initialize form variables, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just looking, comparing back and forth to make sure that I'm following into the same area. And my area stops at log initialized clock in time, blah, blah, blah. So I know if I copy this whole section and then I go down to the end, this is file append, You want to look for any little brackets, things like this. If there was one underneath it, you want to make sure you catch it and you copy everything precisely because it will break your page if you don't do it right. And of course, I always make a backup of the page before I start changes, so that in case we get off track and we can't find our way back, then I've got the original one to start back with, which was functional. It just didn't have all the features that I wanted. So I'm going to delete that code, paste in the new code, and then again, we've got to do a JavaScript section. And so he has given me just replace the entire script block, which is easy to find because all you have to do is search for your script sections. And now I'm going to scroll down, and before you hit the copy button, you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the code and make sure he finished it. And you'll see an icon when he's still writing that lets you know that he's not done. Now he might be writing additional pieces, but you want to make sure at least for this particular code section that it's fully done before you copy and paste it, because there again, you're going to miss pieces of your code if you do it prematurely. So he has included everything with the script tags, and let's see if there's anything else that I need to copy over. That's pretty much the last of the code. Okay, so we're going to save this on my web server, and we're going to reload the page. Number one, we're going to see if the page breaks with that new code. Didn't break, so it still picks up the date of the last entry, which is at 4:25, 10:48 a.m. was when I clocked in. So it sees that. So in theory, what we want to see is we want to click here and have a clock pop up. Survey says it didn't do it. All right. So here and here, neither one is firing the timesheet clock pop up. Refresh the page one more time. Nope, still not firing. And that happens. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Now I'm giving Grok feedback. I'm saying, okay, I updated the code, reloaded the page on mobile. When I click any time entry field, a time selector still doesn't pop up. While he's working on that, I'm going to go double check that on desktop it does work. So on desktop, it's also not popping up the clock, which I'm pretty sure it was before. So our problem is more broad than just mobile. One thing I'm going to do is bring up console, which you hit F12. Now we've got a couple of errors on desktop. So by bringing up the console in your web browser, which is F12, this will also give him clues of what's going wrong. So I'm going to grab this, right click, copy console, and I'm going to provide this to my friend Grok. And I'm also going to update him that it's not just a mobile thing. So he had already generated some code, but I'm going to give him new information, so he's going to regenerate code based on the context. Now, this is funny because I have fought this battle with him more than once. And the first time I had this battle, we went back and forth with code 10, 20 times, and maybe even more. For whatever reason, there's something about the dependencies and the way he was approaching it did not work. When I finally fixed it, I actually saved a little morsel so that I could copy that and give that to him for this page so that he would know how to fix it. What I'm doing is explaining to Grok, saying, hey, we had this problem on another page and we used the following dependencies and script settings to fix it. Please use it as a template to fix this page. So I don't want him to just copy and paste what I'm about to give him. I want him to look at it to figure out how the code is set up and then apply it to this page. So I'm going to paste the code, my notes, send that to him, and let's see what he says. So he has analyzed the code that I gave him and has come up with a plan on how to integrate it. So he wants to replace the dependencies section. And again, with me not being like a major experienced coder, I really want to rely on him to give me the code. I don't want to just do copy and pasting of certain things until I'm more confident. So we're going to update this. And this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of dependencies. And in my code, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have the same number and the same types, but what we're copying and pasting is some slightly different setups for those dependencies, if you will. Now we're going to go to the script section, because I'll guarantee you he's about to change the script. Updated JavaScript. So he's basically applying the same changes that we did to a different page that we fixed. I'll make sure he has finished. I mean, the icon is a up arrow, so I know he's done. I just want to look and make sure. Okay, so it is a full script section. So I'm going to grab this and go all the way to the bottom of the script. Paste in the new script, save it. And let's double check that he hasn't given me anything else to change. Verify, gave it to me earlier, so that shouldn't need to be changed. Let's go back to the phone and see if it works. I'll reload the page, and I guess I should check it on desktop too, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and check it on mobile. Damn, we got a clock, boys and girls. How about that? Now it picked up the time from when I clocked in, so that was the clock in time. Clock out, it's going to default to the current time, which is 11:26. Set that, so now it does the time calculation, and I should be able to just go down and update, which basically means I'm clocking out. Keeps me on the form and gives me the opportunity to clock back in. You know, now it knows that I'm not clocked in, and all of this functionality I've built with Grok. So from my dashboard, you're not clocked in, click here to clock in, takes me to that form, defaults to my name, today's date, and the current time. So we're going to try to duplicate the same thing on desktop and see if we're good. I've got my console up so I can see if there's any errors. Clock in, and we've got a little problem here. Let's see if that's enough to impact it. Okay, my time clock fired, so that's good. My time picker, I guess I should say. And okay, it's firing on both. We're getting responses over in console that it's doing all the work in the background. So we're going to just clock in, because right now I'm not clocked in, so it's picked up the current time. I'm going to hit submit. Okay, so it did clock me in, it did pick up the time. Now I'm going to clock out. And I can just hand type it here, let's say 11:30 a.m. Of course, I can scroll and select different times. Now it preserved this from the check-in. It preserved, of course, my name and the date and the company that I'd selected. I'm going to hit update, and now I'm clocked out. Now what I want to do is I want to see, because one of the symptoms of this whole problem was that when the text didn't have the pop-up window for the clock and they hand typed the time, then it wasn't saving the calculation. So let's see how this looks. Okay, so I've got calculations showing up, so that's good. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to reload this. I did a shift reload, and now I'm not getting any errors. So maybe it didn't really reload the page fully, but now the console is good. Let's make sure that it really is. Yep, it did pop back up. Okay, make sure it still works on mobile. Reload the page. There's my time clicker. Okay, fires on both of them, which if it's going to fire on one, it's going to fire on both because they're both time modals. There's an example of using Grok to problem solve. He rebuilt the whole JavaScript section. I didn't have to go through line by line and fix those different areas. And, you know, again, I'm a novice coder. I don't know that I would have even known what to change. I would never be able to pull this off without involving a programmer and paying somebody else to do it and waiting for them to do it and all that. If you enjoyed this, leave me some comments. Tell me about some of your experiences. I'd be really interested to see what you think of this whole process. I'll see you in the next video.